to The Health Affair, a bite sized podcast where we talk about what's healthy, what's unhealthy, and everything in between. Remember, this is the only guilt free affair that you must end up having. And I'm your host, Shweta. What is up, people? We are kickstarting with our season 1, and we are going to start this season by diving into our real, raw, and purest forms because nothing great could be started without reflecting onto ourselves first. So let's start from the basics. How do you wake up in the morning? Are you groggy or are you all excited to take on the world? What's your morning and night routine? What pushes you to do the good work? What inspires you to be better than who you were yesterday? What food do you indulge in? What habits do you practice daily? Answers to these questions could lead us to a path of self-discovery and reflection. Relationship with self has a major impact on our physical, mental, as well as spiritual health and well-being. Personally, this home quarantine has led me into a never-ending tunnel of self-reflection cause it gave me a lot of time. The time I almost never had. The pause. All of us would keep so busy with things constantly, we never knew how to make time for ourselves, to find what we really like or what we don't like, what gives us pleasure and what we're guilty of, what is our pursuit of happiness and how to really have it all. Here's something what Walt Disney always said, you're the one who can fill the world with sunshine. Now why do we need to self-reflect? Because self-reflection can help us with our ego issues, only if we are aware enough to know that, of course. Lesson on fact here is that what self-reflection also helps us with is to find our why, our purpose, our calling in life. Most of us do have dreams or ambitions as we call them, but never really had a purpose. A purpose would be something that you do in a heartbeat, without expecting any materialistic gains out of it. It can or cannot be humanitarian in nature and necessarily wouldn't fall in the categories of virtues and vices. It will make you wonder why. Why haven't I been doing this all this while? It would feel just right to your heart and would make you feel accomplished as well as satisfied with your current being. Your key habit for self-reflection could be setting aside 7 minutes every single day to sit down and review. Review yourself. What were the out-of-the-box things that you did today and what things weren't up to the mark and could be bettered? Daily little baby steps also count. On a side note, I'm proud of you for doing both if you do it without a sense of regret. The journey to self-reflection could be a long one, but I guarantee you, it would be the best thing you do for yourself. There's nothing better than being a conscious and aware self who goes out there in such unprecedented times and tries to bring a difference to the world by bringing a difference to yourself first. Having said this, you can never pour out of an empty vessel. Self-care is equally important and almost always comes first. Only if you indulge in self-care, self-reflection would work out for you. And it has to be a priority, not a luxury. Now, what could be self-care? This reminds me of something I heard so often growing up. Sometimes, the smallest things take up the most room in your heart, and self-care is one of those smallest things that you can do repeatedly, in and out. Anything that makes you happy and content, literally anything that makes you feel good about yourself, be it working out, movie marathons, whipping up some delicious recipes, playing a musical instrument, learning a new language, or some cool tech stuff. Some of you would find skincare, makeup, styling to be relaxing. You can go crazy gaming or aesthetically work on your home decor. Even reading literature of your choice counts in. If you're like me, you'd find joy in journaling, meditation, or binge-watching serial killer documentaries. Remember, anything that makes you happy. Finally, here's something that I always say to myself. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the most beautiful of them all? Of course, I don't have a magic mirror that'll reply the way it did to the evil queen. Those of you who did not understand the reference, it is from the story of the Snow White. So, it's just me answering myself, me! And this brings us to the last segment of our today's episode. QOTD. And that is the question of the day. So, here it is.
Hi Shweta. So here's my question. We always say that future is uncertain, but we also say future is in our hands. We create our future. So what are your views regarding this?
First of all, this is such an amazing yet mind-boggling question. This question is asked by a very good friend of mine, Namita. Hi there, Namita, and thank you for this question. Future. Everybody wants to talk about it. Everybody wants to know what lies there. But nobody really wants to know it by working through it. And by working through it, I mean real work. Working effortlessly and hard enough to see the glory that lies ahead. I feel future is like a two-sided coin. We don't have a control over it, but seeing it the other way, we also do have a control. For starters, we never knew that something like COVID-19 was gonna hit us in our face. Not even in my worst dreams had I thought about it being so bad that all our lives would come to a standstill. Our movement has literally been confined to the comforts of our home. But the flip side here is we still have comfort. I never knew that I'd be provided with an opportunity of self reflection, having the ultimate free time that we all kept complaining about, spending more time with ourselves, with our loved ones, learning stuff, or pursuing a hobby that we always wanted to. There's no better era that we could have been quarantined in. Because if all of this would have been happening like a few years back, say 10 or 15 years, it would have been crazier without all the tech that we have today. Also, we are contributing to reducing all kinds of pollution at a rate never seen before. Doesn't all of this sound like creating a brighter future for us and newer generations to come? What I truly believe is we can put in more of our blood and sweat today and maximize our chances of seizing a better opportunity tomorrow. And the only reason why it would be happening is because we'd be better prepared to grab whatever this world has to throw at us. This doesn't mean that our chances of failure are reduced. In fact, improving the chances of failing is the only way I see to improving our success rate. There could also be other factors to it, like what mindset are you currently in or what direction are you working in? Are you also doing the smart work or is it mere hard work? Preparation and consistency almost always beats talent and nepotism. So instead of constantly worrying about some unknown and outworking our brains wrapped up in anxiety, we'd better have this time work for us and our better futures. So yeah, when you ask me what is having a control over future, it is optimizing uncertainty by analyzing and putting in efforts today in the right direction for a better tomorrow. On this note, we are at the end of today's episode. Tell me what you liked and disliked. Was there something that provoked you to think? You can drop us a message on our mail, thehealthaffair101@gmail.com, or on our Instagram handle, thehealthaffair.in. You can also connect to us on our Facebook page, The Health Affair, and our Twitter page, HealthAffair101. All your feedback and suggestions matter just the way you matter to me. Thank you so much for listening, and I'd see you on Friday with a fresh and hot out of the oven episode. Until then, adios!